Hey everyone, so it's been quite a week, hasn't it? A lot has happened, none of it good, to be honest. So I thought I'd take a few minutes out just to do a little Q&A. Now, as you'll know, I do these quite regularly. I put out a request for questions on Instagram and people fire them back at me. And so I thought today would be a good opportunity to do a special FTX themed Q&A, just a quick one, just answer a few of the questions that you very kindly sent in. Obviously, all of them in one way or another connected to what's been going on with FTX and Alameda over the last week or so. So let's kick straight off. Ahmed Ali Awad asks, do you think 2023 is going to be better, or should we just hope it won't be worse? I don't think 2023 is going to be an awful lot better. In fact, I think as we move into 2023, it is going to continue kind of in this vein. I think it is going to be, on the whole, a very long and very difficult year. What I am hoping, though, is that as the year wears on and as hopefully we sort out some of the mess that has resulted from the FTX and Alameda fallout, and as well, I hope, as wider economic concerns are addressed, what I am going to be looking out for very closely is green shoots towards the end of 2023. So I think certainly the first half of the year at least is going to be very difficult, but I am going to be looking out very closely for signs of growth, for signs of recovery towards the end of that year, with a bit of luck leading to 2024 being a much, much better year, because let's face it, it couldn't be much worse than 2022. But obviously we don't want to tempt fate, do we? Okay, the siteseeker.blog asks, did you dump your soul? Short answer to that is yes, I did. It was not a decision I took lightly. It was not one not a move I enjoyed having to make. And of course, I did not foresee something like this happening to Sol. Obviously, Solana is very, very heavily exposed to FTX and Alameda, and this has left a lot of question marks hanging over its future. And it's actually something that I'm working on at the moment. Me and my team are doing a deep dive into Solana to kind of assess just what the outlook is for it at the moment, because obviously it has had a rough week, and I think it is going to have a lot more rough weeks in front of it. So yeah, I did dump my soul. I also dumped a bit of BTC and ETH and just moved into stables, and that is very much where I am going to be sitting for the time being. College 8 asks, are you hodling at the moment, Guy, or taking long or short positions? Thanks. Well, yes, as my previous answer suggests, I'm hodling, but also I have done some selling as well. But I am certainly looking to hodl from this point onwards. I cannot see myself going into the market anytime soon, because I still think there are lower lows ahead of us. I'm pretty sure that that is something we're going to see in the coming weeks and months. So I'm certainly not buying. As to long or short positions, I am not one for trading. I'm certainly not one for leverage trading. So yeah, it's going to be hodling all the way. And if anyone out there is thinking of going long or short, doing any sort of leverage trading, anything high risk like that, then please, guys, be very, very careful. These are very difficult market conditions, huge amounts of volatility, and trading with leverage, going long and short, etc., is a very easy way to get wrecked. So do be careful. Exercise caution. Cat Quantum asks, any funds from FTX gone? Yes, I did have a little bit of stablecoin sitting on FTX. Not very much, fortunately, because, well, I mean, I'd be a hypocrite if I had an enormous stack on, having always told people don't leave your money on exchanges. So I had a small amount of stablecoin sitting there as kind of dry powder. And although it's never nice to lose, it's something that I was able to absorb. And yeah, just let me reiterate, don't leave huge amounts of money on exchanges. If you want to leave a small amount, that is very much up to you. Some people like to leave a small amount on exchanges for trading purposes, or, you know, to buy the dip or anything like that. That is one way of doing it, folks. But at the moment, yeah, self-custody is the way to go, if you ask me. Now, an interesting question here, well, they've all been interesting questions, but from Vukovic Matej, apologies if I mangled the pronunciation of that, I almost certainly did. Will Kraken management stay the right path? This is interesting because I think over the last few days, obviously, there's been so much bad news flying around about exchanges in general, obviously FTX in particular, but lots of people asking questions about exchanges. And the two names that have kind of come up in all of this, because I think it's important to underline just how shocked so many people in the industry were by FTX's collapse. I think most people, myself included, had it up there as one of those exchanges least likely to fail, least likely to go under. And coming to terms with that has been tricky. But certainly two of the names that I've seen mentioned a lot in a favorable light over the last few days are Kraken and Coinbase. Now, these are obviously US-based exchanges. That means they are subject to very strict US regulations, very strict restrictions on what they can do. And I think the last few days have really been a vindication of their strategies. And Kraken, I think in particular, has always gone very steady. It hasn't always charged ahead with listing kind of, obscure altcoins or anything like that. It has had quite a conservative policy towards that. And Kraken has been one of the safest and most reliable exchanges out there. Kraken management, yeah, I think they've certainly taken the right path. Now, my one disappointment about Kraken is that Jesse Powell recently stepped down as CEO, but he is still involved with the exchange as well, so he does still have influence there, which I think is a very important, very good thing. So yes, I hope that Kraken, Coinbase, and other exchanges as well take heed of that, and just remember how important it is. Growth is one thing, but it cannot come at the expense of customer safety and customer funds. Isdrigra asks, what do you think will eventually happen to the Bankman-Fried guy? Wow. Well, I can tell you what I would like to happen to the Bankman-Fried guy, and that is for him to spend a very long period of time in jail. But, gosh, I just don't know, because he clearly has very powerful connections. I'm kind of baffled as to why he hasn't been arrested yet. All this under supervision business that they're talking about in the Bahamas, why can't that be under arrest? I don't quite see, and I can't help but think that his powerful connections are kind of going into bat for him. So I just don't know. If this was a fair and just world, SBF would be staring down the barrel of a very long stretch in prison. But as we've seen, this world is neither fair nor just. So at this stage, I really wouldn't rule anything out with that guy. It's just a story that gets weirder and more awful by the day. Okay, NK Nashike asks, is FTX the unexpected black swan taking us to the depths of the bear market? It certainly was a black swan, the blackest of swans. Is this taking us to the depths of the bear market? I think quite possibly so. That said, I am looking at a number of other factors that could take us lower from here. We've certainly gone a lot lower than we were a week or so ago, but that doesn't mean we don't have lower to fall. One of the things that I'm keeping a very close eye on is miners, because I think there is a danger that we could see miners forced to sell very soon, especially if energy prices stay high, and especially if the winter in the Northern Hemisphere gets worse. And that could mean that a lot of Bitcoin miners are coerced into going offline, and that could cause a lot of capitulation among them. So miners is something that I'm watching as well. However, yeah, obviously there is still a lot of fallout. There's still a lot of contagion that I think is going to be felt from this whole FTX disaster. So yeah, this is certainly something that could take us towards new lows. Now, there were a few other questions as well. There were quite a lot of questions from people regarding sort of various exchanges. Are they safe? Would I use them? Do I rate them? Etc., etc. Now, rather than kind of go into all of these, I think the important thing about exchanges at the moment is that you just need to exercise extreme caution. You need to assume, I think, that no exchange is safe. No exchange is 100% safe. So if you are thinking about leaving funds on an exchange, then I think you are making a very grave mistake. The best money you can spend at the moment, if you don't already have one, is on a hardware wallet, a ledger, a Trezor. There are loads and loads of ones out there, and they offer the best security for your coins and tokens. So do a bit of research, find the one that holds the coins and tokens, that supports the coins and tokens that you hold in your portfolio, and just take that time to get the hardware wallet and move your crypto across, because there are different grades of exchanges out there. Some are definitely much safer than others. But at the moment, we just need to assume this is such a crazy time. We just have to assume that all exchanges are not entirely safe. So self-custody is so important, folks. And I am going to keep saying it. Don't think that I'm at some point going to turn around and go, I think we're done with self-custody. It's all good. You guys have all moved all your coins and tokens into wallets. It's okay. I'm going to stop talking about it. No, I'm going to keep on banging this drum, folks, because as FTX has shown us, as Celsius showed us before, one disaster after another, there are still people not getting the message. And if this video changes one person's mind and persuades them to go out and get a hardware wallet, then it will have been worth making. So if you haven't already done one, folks, get it. Do it now. Okay, and also a lot of people asking me what kind of altcoins, what cryptos I'm loading up on at the moment. Short answer is the only thing that I am loading up on at the moment is stablecoins, folks. As I said, I am not doing any buying. I am waiting, I am watching, I am keeping my powder dry, and I'm keeping most of it in a hardware wallet, as should you too. Anyway, folks, I hope that sheds a bit of light on some of the questions and concerns you had surrounding FTX. Tough times indeed, but we will get through them. Remember that crypto itself is not broken. This was a centralized platform. This was human error. This was not the fault of the blockchain or the projects themselves. This was greed. This was human error. This was mismanagement on an industrial scale. But it doesn't change the fact that crypto is here, crypto is staying, and crypto is going to change the world. Thanks for watching.